record straight. You and me, we ain't nothing alike. Let's set the record straight. Those words you say, they hold no weight, they like. Let's set the record straight. You'll never break the...
Hello everyone and welcome back to another Diecast review. Today we have Erik Jones in the number 43 Focus Factor for the Darlington race win. This is his second Darlington win. He won one back in 2017? No, 18? 2018, right? 19? No, 18. Maybe? I don't remember. But he won a race in Darlington. And I have the Diecast too, and that thing's... I'm pretty sure that thing's rare. Anyway... yeah, Erik Jones for the Darlington race win. Very cool paint scheme, very cool race car, very cool race win. I really wish, again, this is one of the diecasts that I really wish that Lionel would just put the confetti on the windshield, because this thing would be completely caked and it would look 100 times better. But no, we can't have nice things, so we got to go without. But I mean, yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, isn't this the last race win for Petty GMS, right? Am I wrong on that? I could be wrong. Speaking of Petty GMS, of course, they switched teams, so I think this is the last win, and they went to Legacy Motor Club, if I recall correctly. Speaking of, huge thoughts and prayers to the Johnson family. I don't know if you guys heard, but it was a very terrible situation. I'm not going to touch on the topic, but just while we're thinking about it, you know, of course, thoughts and prayers go to the family, because, I mean, that was just... I read up on that, and that is actually insane. So, I mean, I could not even just imagine what everybody's going through. So, just, everybody, keep them in your thoughts and prayers, and just, you know, just kind of think about them for, you know, all that time, and however long they need. Of course, they're withdrawing from the Chicago race, so, I mean, yeah, obviously can't blame them, but that's so sad. I mean, it's really heartbreaking to hear, but I hope everything, you know, gets as good as it can within the next amount of time. And they also won't be with Chevy next year, so there's a lot of changes going on with this specific team. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the last race win. I could be wrong, but I think this is the last win. I'm not too sure. Somebody either correct me or I gotta look it up myself. It don't matter. Either way, this car is awesome. I love the paint scheme in general, and I love that he got the race done. And I think there's supposed to be damage on this side, right? Maybe. Wasn't I, like... Because I was doing the race, like the custom, and I think there was damage on that side. I'm not really too sure. But anyway, let's get this bad boy open and take a look at the diecast, because this thing is, once again, completely caked in confetti. And, yeah, this is going to be a fun diecast to look at. Here's the diecast out of the box, and man, this thing is beautiful. Very nice paint scheme. I like how Focus Factor actually took up most of the side of the decal of the diecast, or just the race car in general. That looks really good. I wish more sponsors would do that, but they don't for whatever reason. They'll sit there and complain about not having enough, you know, room on the side for their branding, but they won't use the freaking room they made in order to expand their logo. But I don't know. Either way, Focus Factor didn't do a terrible job. I wish it was a little bit larger, but, you know, I mean, it's alright. It is what it is. A lot better than some of the diecasts some of the paint schemes we've been seeing recently. Like, again, I'll say it. The Kyle Busch Lenovo paint scheme for 2023, couldn't think of the year. Not good. I don't like it. I hate it. It looks like bumper stickers from Diecastbuffet put it very well. I watched that video after my diecast review, and he said bumper stickers, and I'm like, dude, that is spot on. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but yeah, it just looks like bumper stickers all over the car, and I'm like, that's garbage. I don't like how that looks. But his Alsco paint scheme looks incredible because they did it right, and the Focus Factor kinda hit it, but not really, but could do a little better. Anyway, onto the actual car again, caked in confetti, and it just looks great. So, you can barely see it, but Focus Factor is on the hood there. Again, covered in confetti, got a buttload of dirt and grime on the hood too. This might be one of my favorite race ones in a long time, because just simply, there's a lot of confetti, which I like. There's a lot of build-up, which I also like, and I think there's a little bit of damage too. So yeah, I think Bowman's was his Las Vegas for 2022. It would have been a lot better if it had the correct white. But in terms of like just race win, it had a lot of dirt and grime on it, and it had a decent amount of confetti. That's why it was my favorite. No bias or anything. That just looked really good. This one probably beats that. It looks way better. And of course, it helps that the colors are accurate. You know, that would be nice to have on the Bowman car, but I guess we can't have that. But focus factor there, covered in confetti. The windshield should be covered, but of course it's not. Got Jones and the Chevy bow tie there. Almost forgot to say that. I got a whole bunch of confetti on the roof. You can barely see it's the 43. Now there is these little sections, these little squares or rectangles here. I'm sure you guys know, but just in case you don't, these are where those like promotional boxes go on top of the roof, and then they shoot the confetti and they take the boxes off, and then of course it leaves the squares where they were sitting there. So if those weren't sitting there, you would be able to like have the whole roof covered, and you wouldn't even be able to see the number barely. So yeah, this thing is absolutely caked and it looks fantastic. Got Jones on the rear, name banner there. A little bit on the deck lid. Well, a little more than a little bit, but there's nothing, no sponsor on the deck lid. Moving on to the back end here. We do have some damage, or I don't know if it's like damage or if it's like some fuel coming off the back end there. But we do have some streaks running down. Got a lot of race wear. Even on the back end, you can see that some of these, they're just kind of covered, or some of these decals are covered in the dirt and grime. Focus factor looks a little blurry, not gonna lie. I don't like that. Nutrition for the brain, Camaro ZL1, got the bow tie up there and the pop rivets, of course. U.S. Air Force on this side. A little bit of race damage. There we go, that's what I was talking about. Not a whole lot, but there is some there. More race wear on the side there. Safety clean, champion. Focus factor, again, and some more confetti on that little stick out part. Then you got the name rail, which has Claire Rutten, maybe Rutten, something like that. And then there's a big streak, of course, from the decal just being split. Mac Tools STP Columbus there. So you got the 43, got some confetti down the skirt there. Got the Cup Series logo. You got a little bit more damage on that front fender. Of course, going to the front, you got a whole bunch of race wear. Dude, look at that packing. That looks so good. Super packed in there, super caked up. Looks good. Splitter, also caked in confetti, also looks really good. Got a little bit on the front grill there, not a whole lot, but you see the headlights. Got the 43. Got Petty GMS there, got the Sunoco, also covered on this side too. Down the left side, a little bit of confetti, not a whole lot. Kind of gets a little thicker on the back end. A little bit of fuel spillage, possibly, but you got some sticking out there. And got some more confetti on this other part of the car. I don't really know what that panel is called, the one where it kind of sticks out, but a little bit more kind of race wear up on the quarter panel back here. So yeah, we got some race wear, and we got some dirt and grime build up, and then we got the confetti. Just looks really good. So a very awesome paint scheme. Just again, the paint scheme looks really nice, and for it to be a race win, looks awesome. Now I feel like this is going to be one of the cars, kind of like I was talking about the Bubba car. I feel like it's going to be rare, just for like turns of events. This is, again, I believe the final win for this team, even though it's the same team, just rebranded. Might be the final win for Erik Jones. We don't know, but it could very well be. But at the same time, this is one of those paint schemes that could go either way. It could be, oh, it's going to get super rare, or it could be overproduced, or it's just kind of that comfortability in the middle, or it's like you can get it, but it's not super hard to find, but it's not really rare either. Might be a little pricey in terms of retail, but it may not be super rare. They also have the metal chassis edition too, which helps. But in terms of the ARC, just the plastic base, I don't know. It could be kind of floating around in a $5 bin, at the racetrack for a couple years from now, or it could be like in nobody's eyesight. It just really depends. I think it's going to get, my thing stopped, but I think it's going to get rare down the line. I'm not really too sure if it's going to, but I think it's going to. I don't know about you all. I give this paint scheme and just this diecast overall a solid 9, maybe 9.5. I'm not too sure. But I'm going to stick with 9. Now, again, if it was the diecast that had the confetti on the windshield and stuff, perfect 10. 10 out of 10. But just simply because, I mean, I have to rule it out too, because it's something I now just won't do. I mean, either way, it's not... Oh, God, it's so hard to put it, like, on a spectrum. Or not spectrum, but on, like, a list. I don't know. I'll stick with 9. It's not amazing, but it's not, you know, bad. It's really good, but it's not, you know, super top tier. Again, you got that perfect balance of, like, maybe not perfect balance, but you got a lot of confetti, a lot of race wear, and it's on a good scheme. So, I don't know. I'm just going to give it a 9 and call it a day. But, I don't know, that's just kind of my thoughts and opinions. But that being said, I do believe that will be all for this diecast review. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.
Everything that I ever worked for, I'ma keep on pushing till I earn more. I won't never fall, won't never, won't never, won't never, won't never.